So, welcome to the first level up call for you guys. And this is something that I really want you guys to come into this taking it super, super seriously. Because honestly, what you put into this and the intention and the mindset that you bring to these calls is really going to be the difference between you making a really enormous success of your business and not. Okay. This business, as I shared on Sunday, and I think it's really nice to lead on from that vision piece, is exactly what you make it. This business can be whatever you want it to be. And I know for a lot of us, that is very, very difficult to understand and see, particularly if you're where you are with your business right now. You have a full-time salary from an employer. And obviously the way that we work in network marketing is very, very different. You aren't going to build that full-time income in 2 months. It doesn't work like that. Joe and I actually had that conversation earlier on over lunch that, it is putting in the consistent effort over time that is going to build your business to the point where you could go part-time and then full-time and then build an income that's potentially double, treble, you name it, more than where you are right now. But it's not going to happen in a couple of months. And so really what I wanted to do, because we've obviously got a group of girls here, there's some that can't make it on live, so this is obviously recorded for their benefit. It's a bit of a fact-finding mission today for me and for Joe to really understand what you guys want to achieve with this business, what you believe you can achieve with this business, and where you really are with your coach business. And I really want you guys to embrace this group. I know it's scary to kind of unmute yourself and share your stuff, particularly if you're not used to being on Zoom. It can feel quite overwhelming. But I can promise you, the more that you lean in, the more that you can glean stuff from other people, the more that you're going to support each other in getting to your own goals. And that's what I want from this group. I want it to be uplifting, supportive. I want you guys to push for your goals together. And I really want you, as I said on Sunday, to take the lid on whatever limitation you believe this business is. If you believe this business is only ever going to earn you like 150 quid a month, that's all it's ever going to do for you. If you believe this business is a 6 or 7 figure business a year, it will be that in time. I can absolutely promise you that. And hopefully you can hear from the kind of belief in my voice that I know that's possible. I'm working my way towards that right now. And by me leading by example, Joe leading by example, and the leaders that are coming through, you are going to see that that is possible. And we have a really, really exciting, not only end to the year, we've had some phenomenal growth in our global team. We've had Joe, Charlotte coming through as Diamond Coaches. We've hit Premier as a team. Going into 2021, as long as you have addressed your mindset, you have a clear vision that you have perhaps discussed with the person nearest and dearest to you, because it's really important that you collectively have really thought about that vision and you're clear on your goals, which is fundamental. There is 0 point having a vision board if you don't have any intentionality around your goals and what it's going to take in the short term to build to that long-term goal that you have. And again, as I've just said, your goals could well be very, very different. And right now, some of you guys are really quite new, so you might not even know the potential this business has for you, and you might not have let the lid off that. So what I just wanted to share kind of first and foremost before I let you guys just like chat about your goals is just a bit about, I suppose, my background with my goals, so that you guys can understand how I built and why I built in the way that I did, so that you can start to glean bits that may or may not serve you, goals that you might want to go for. And my path was really, I know for you guys watching someone like me who is 2.5, almost 3 years down the track and does now have a full-time income and essentially does this full-time, 5 hours a day around my son, it can be hard for people coming through to see how it can work for them, because they look at me and they think, well, that's okay for Izzy because she works this full-time and she knows what she's doing. And of course, you don't have the ability to see what it was like for me in the beginning. So I just kind of want to like reel back a bit to just let you in on how it worked for me and the kinds of goals that I set myself in the beginning. Okay. So when I came into this business in March 2018, I genuinely came into it just because I needed to get fit and healthy as a new qualified PT and a mum that was very, very present for my son, because my husband worked really long hours and it meant I couldn't go to the gym, and I needed to get fit and healthy because I didn't want to be a PT that wasn't practicing what I was preaching. Okay. So that's how I came into it. I never, ever had the intention or even the knowledge that this business could be a full-time income. Like, yeah, whatever would have been my response. Okay. So that wasn't ever shared with me in the beginning. I didn't ever know it was a possibility. And as I started to do it, as a lot of you girls here are feeling, you start to do the programs, whether or not you've intended to build a business, and you start to absolutely fall in love with it. You start to get the buzz for helping other people. You start to help a couple of people, maybe 2-3 people a month, and you start to take ownership for it, and it makes you feel great because they come and they say, thank you so much for sharing this with me. Or even if you've not helped that many people yet, guys, like, you've really inspired me to start my own journey. You know, those kinds of messages for me in the beginning were really like, that's the kind of thing I want to do. I want to do this more. And again, at that time, I don't think I even realized the potential of this business. Okay. So really for me, as a new coach, my first 3 months, I was absolutely going to hit Success Club. There was absolutely no question whether or not I was going to hit it. That for me was the minimum parameter. I didn't know what was ahead, but I knew from my coach and the trainings I've watched, I needed to hit Success Club if I wanted to have any chance to see if this could work for me, right? So that was the minimum for me. And again, you guys might not have done that, and that doesn't mean that you can't make this a success. There are many coaches in this business. Jo is one of them. She didn't hit Success Starters. She missed it just by the skin of her teeth, but she didn't, and she's still making a roaring success of her business. So I just want to share that if you haven't done that, it's not the end of the world, but I wanted to share it so that you guys can see that that was just my goal, right? That was all my goal was in the start. It wasn't to build this business to a full-time income. I didn't know it was possible. I was building it on the side of my PT. And then for me, like, my catalyst was losing my mum, which was, you guys may or may not have seen the video, but that was an enormous catalyst for me. And I lent into this community and these programs, and honestly, hand on heart, it brings tears to my eyes, because without our community and what we do here, I don't know where I would be. I don't know where I would be for my son. I don't know where I would be for my husband. I don't even know what would have happened. And I don't even like to think about it. But because it helped me through the most traumatic period of my life, literally, my mum was my best friend. I turned to my husband and I said, well, once the funeral was over, I'm going to do this full time, because if I can help myself out of the single most traumatic experience of my life and be able to have another focus that is so positive, I want to be that girl for other people who might need this, that don't even know they need it, right? When I enrolled, I didn't know I was going to need it. I didn't know that was going to happen. And so this unbelievable passion and, you know, organic, natural wish to help others came through. Okay. It wasn't I need a full-time income. That wasn't the first priority. The first priority was, I believe in this. I know it can change people's lives. And also I can potentially build a full-time income. But the full-time income mindset piece came secondary to my passion for it. And I want you guys to know that if you don't have a genuine passion for what you do, and you haven't genuinely fallen in love and felt the results, get all in on your program right now, because your success will be determined by being the, like, literal, you know, like, firecracker for what we do. Okay, you guys know that, but I just want to share that when you see really successful coaches, their success has come ultimately from an immediate passion that has then been built upon for goals and visions. Okay, so I started to do that, and then I said, right, I want to spend more time building this business. I don't want to be at the beck and call of PTs and fitness instructors and dropping Arthur in and out of nursery, because in my head, this PT piece was going to be perfect for, you know, family life. And it wasn't at all, because people wanted to train in the morning, late in the evening, lunchtimes. I couldn't juggle it. I didn't have the ability to have help with childcare. But not only that, I saw the ability to make a global impact on women all over the globe. And I knew that I could only get into so many women by being a PT. And so for me, I kind of was ready to already park the PT piece, because I saw how hard those PTs worked for really not very much cash, for how they got treated, for the fact they had to be at certain places at really irregular times. Okay. And that's when I went Emerald. Okay. So I went Emerald, just so you guys know, it took me from the March to the August to go Emerald. Okay. It took me April, May, June, July. It took me 5 months to go Emerald, which is probably going to surprise you guys, but that's why I'm sharing it. It took me 5 months. It wasn't that I wasn't hitting Success Club, but I didn't have a coach that was sharing go Emerald, or maybe she was, but I wasn't really tuned into it. I was just helping customers. I was building my little boot camps. I was having fun with it. And then I went Emerald, and they said, right, if you're an active Emerald or above by this date, you will be put in a diamond push group. that was the catalyst for me going emerald. Much like this, essentially, I don't call it a diamond push group because some of you guys might not want that, but I would assume that after I've shared what I'm going to share, that is going to be the goal for you guys, because that's how you build this residual income that is going to allow you to either build a full-time income on the side of a full-time job, or to reel back on that job in time. Okay, so that's typically the way that it goes. We have top 10 coaches who still work full-time, believe it or not, okay, because they love their jobs. And I wasn't that girl, but there are people here, like some teachers love their jobs and they don't ever want to leave it, or, you know, even nursing. So just wanted to share that. And so it was in that diamond push group that I really started to see that diamond was the stepping stone to 2-star diamond. Now, you guys probably don't know what diamond is. Okay, so firstly, I'm just going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys the diamond roadmap, because I think some of you might have seen it, but a lot of you probably haven't. Okay, where is this diamond roadmap? Hold on. Let's have a look. Hopefully it's going to open. That's weird. What's going on with it? There we go. Okay, so you guys are all emerald or above, okay? And this is something that I'm going to send in the chat thread, but it's really important, guys. And I've just sent this to Sarah Jackson because we had a long chat yesterday. I remember my coach saying, Izzy, fill this out as you fill the holes, because again, it's like the vision piece. When you have got people's names in those spots, you can start to really quickly visualize what it takes to go diamond. You can understand it. You've got that visual in front of your face every day. And I cannot tell you how much that is going to speed up the process to go diamond, but how much it's going to motivate you. I think, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, you did that, didn't you? Had it on your desk. Do you have it on your desk? Yeah. So this is something that I'm going to send, and I want you guys, when we finish the call, once I've sent it, to complete this and send it back in the chat thread with the people. You know, a lot of you guys have just got 2 people. Don't worry. That was exactly where I was when I went into a diamond push group. And I went into that diamond push group at the end of August, and we had this map. Okay. We had some trainings, which I'm going to share more of in coming weeks. How to build a diamond, why it's important, and everything else, and how to attract coaches. But this really was my opportunity to get my brain space in the right place, because it gave me a visual to focus on. Okay. And at that point, I said to myself, right, we're not enrolling any customers. They're all going to be discount coaches. I'm not doing them a disservice, because whether or not they enroll as a customer or a coach, it's going to cost them the same. And ultimately, I've done them a favor, because if they want to continue the products, they're going to be cheaper overall. And if they don't, they're just going to cancel the coach account. Okay. And guys, I will tell you, if you are building to diamond, 80%, if not 90% of those coaches are not going to be business builders. They are not going to be active working coaches. And with anybody's establishment, i.e. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, you can guarantee that 80 to 90% of their coaches are discount coaches, i.e. customers that have enrolled for the discount on the product. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to send that to you afterwards. But just really so that you guys can understand, I'm just going to share a bit about diamond and why it's important. Okay. At emerald, per cycle, you have a left and a right leg. Hopefully you guys know that. Okay. But you do, you have a left and a right leg. And at Beachbody, when you cycle through volume on those legs, that makes income. Okay. For every 1 cycle as an emerald coach, you earn $14, which sounds like nothing, okay? As a diamond coach, for every cycle through that volume on both sides, you make $18, okay? So it's probably like £13 and say £15 at this current moment in time with the exchange rate. When you start to cycle through that volume, as you start to build your business, I might cycle 50 times a week, sometimes more. If 50 times 14 compared to 50 times 18 per week, you can start to see that you better shit and get to diamond, because you are missing money if you have people that are performing, but you've capped out the compensation plan at emerald. Okay. So I may have lost some of you guys there. I don't want you to worry about it. I'm not going to get really into the detail of it, because quite frankly, 80% of my coaches you don't need the detail right now. All you need to know is that to optimize your ability to earn a residual income, you need to get to diamond as quickly as possible, because that is where the compensation caps out per cycle. Okay. The other thing that's really important, and this is why, you know, Joe going diamond, Charlotte going diamond, I say straight to 2-star. And you probably have seen me say that in a couple of places. When you have built to diamond, okay, and then perhaps you've got a control account that's likely to be your first diamond that you then build underneath. Once you've done that diamond, you are going to do diamond in your control. Okay, this is why we get you guys to do a control, because then any additional coaches you enroll go under the control and you're earning in 2 spots. Okay, so just to be clear, once you've gone diamond once, you're just going to go diamond again in the control. So it's 8 coaches plus 2 emeralds. Okay, so once you've done it once, it's easy to do it twice. Again, you guys aren't there yet, but I just want to share it so that you can understand why I'm saying diamond is important. At 2-star, so you need a diamond on each side. When you go 2-star, you get to open another you that sits in your business center wherever your business is weakest on volume, which means you start to really roll through it. And that is where I doubled my income. Okay, that is where I started reeling back on all my PTs. I reeled back on all my fitness instructor classes. I reeled back on golf club hours, because I was doubling my income at 2-star. So the goal is diamond, because getting to diamond is the stepping stone to going 2-star. And if you guys want a significant income with Beachbody, the only way to, in my mind's eye, in terms of what a significant income would be with Beachbody, is 2-star. Okay. And so that's why it's really fundamental that we in this group are teaching you how to get those discount coaches, but also how to find working coaches. Okay. So have I lost anyone? And please, if I have, please ask questions. I'm sure I probably have. I don't want to get into loads of detail about it because I don't want to lose you anymore, but I think it's important to understand why I'm saying if you want to build a residual income that is going to allow you to have consistent income week on week, if you just enroll customers, they are never ever going to do anything more than maybe order repeat orders on products. Whereas if you enroll coaches that subsequently become working coaches, that's where your residual income comes in, because when they're helping people and they've got people building, it blows your business up with volume and you cycle through it at such a rate. So it's really important to me that you guys understand that my wish for you guys is to not have to grind all of the time, to build a business that is built to last. Okay, and build a business that's going to serve you for the rest of your life and your family's life, and build essentially a legacy, which means that you're building strong, not weak. Please do ask away if you've got any questions on what I've just covered. Was that clear? Yeah, okay, good. That's the main thing, because what I don't want to do is lose people. Okay, that's really not what I want to do. So really, with that in mind, I want you to think about these 8 coaches. These 8 essentially could be customers, could be discount coaches, right? And I want you to think about who you've got in your business center right now and how many you've got left to go diamond. Okay, and that might be quite difficult for you because you don't have the diamond roadmap in front of you. So I'm just going to open it and really start to think about, this is what we're going to do in this group. We are going to set a diamond date. Okay, because you know, a vision without setting a target or setting a date by which it's going to be achieved, i.e. a SMART goal, it's a goal that's never going to be achieved. Okay, and I will say, if you're going to hit Success Club every month, that's 3 discount coaches. Okay, that's 3 discount coaches. And Ashley Howard is a coach that I work with very closely in the States. She's been a coach for 7 years and she's built a lot of diamonds. And she says typically it will take 30 to 60 days to create a diamond. And I can promise you, once you have made the decision to go diamond, and I'm sure Joe will share in a second, the easiest way to do it is with momentum. Once you've got that clarity on that goal, putting in the action. Maybe you're doubling the action to achieve the objective. Momentum builds momentum. It's like getting on the crest of a wave. And once you're on it, it becomes so much easier to build. When it becomes difficult to attain a goal is when we don't go at it with enough momentum. And I want you guys to download a book for this group, because this is very specific to you building a strong business long term. And that is called Build to Last by Keith Callahan. Okay. And again, I can put that in the group, but that is a book that was written by one of the founding coaches at Beachbody. And he's just an absolute genius, but he really, really simplifies what it takes to build a business and what it takes to build a Beachbody business. And there is so much information out there. The biggest danger to you guys as coaches, as I see it, is that you get information overload. We are the most overtrained network marketing coaches in network marketing at Beachbody because we have fantastic training, which is amazing, but it can really make it so effing complicated, and actually it's really not. And that book is amazing. And that's why I like to create these groups, because I like to break it all down. We get in our heads, we make it all complicated, we bring all these questions and procrastinations into our business. And actually, guys, this is something Mackenzie shared on one of these Level Up trainings that I did, and I'll probably get her to lead one. And she said, what it takes to go diamond, all it takes to go diamond is to be consistent with your tracker and to believe it can happen. And she's fucking right. That is all it takes. It is not some magical unicorn. It is not some impossibility. People put this diamond on a pedestal, and actually, guys, it's 8 coaches and 2 emeralds. It is easy. Okay. And if you think it's going to be easy, it will be easy. And if you think it's hard, it will be hard. It's what you think about, you bring about. It's the secret. It is easy. So since there weren't any questions, unless there are any others, I would love for you guys to share, as I said earlier on in the chat thread, just what your goals are. Like, even if for you right now, you need to sit down and look at that diamond and come back in the group and say what your diamond date is. And then you're going to hold each other to account, and you're going to run together. You know, your dates might be different, but you're going to support each other. That's what I really want this group to be, so that you guys can start to really elevate yourselves together. And I will be honest, to go diamond, it requires additional work over and above what you guys are doing now. It requires sacrifice for the short term to achieve a long-term objective. And ultimately, I also need to check in here if we've got anyone that has different goals for whatever reason. So short-term goals, I would just love for you guys to share what your goal for this month is. Okay, what your strategy is. Are you running a boot camp? Do you have a start date for that boot camp? And if not, after this call, I need you to get that in place, because without you getting that in place as someone that wants to build their business strong, go diamond and beyond, you will need to be leading your own groups each month to make that happen. The guys that lead their own boot camps, Joe, Charlotte, Sarah, those guys are the guys that are building the quickest, because they're taking personal responsibility. They're not allowing their coach to say, right, I'll lead this for you. So yeah, like, and obviously if you've got longer term goals and you've already thought it through and you know what you're doing, share it. And this isn't to name or shame anyone. This isn't to like make any one of you guys feel bad because somebody's thought it through and you haven't. Maybe they're just a little bit further along on their journey. That's what this is here for. Okay. And also, if you've got any questions on what you think your goal should be, with maybe you've got an income goal, guys, and maybe you don't want to share that here, maybe you want to share it with me privately or with Joe, that's something we can help you with. We can absolutely help you with. So if it's an income goal, a Success Club goal, if you have a diamond date, great. If you don't, I don't expect you to have one literally right now because I've just shared it. Does somebody want to start?
I suppose I can.
Yeah, perfect.
Basically, I don't have a date for diamonds yet, but it would be something I'd be interested in going for.
Yeah.
Basically, I started kind of out with this because I was following Charlotte for quite a while anyway. I think I actually went to college with her, so I knew her way before this. So I was like watching and wanted to start a fitness journey anyway. And then as I was about to kind of enroll, she offered like places for coaching. So I thought, why not? So I thought I'd jump in that and give it a go. So my short-term goal for like this month would hopefully be to reach Success Club. Success Club. And probably like start launching a boot camp as well. I haven't got a date for that yet, but obviously I'll try and get a date sorted for that. But basically, yeah, I'm kind of coming into this thinking, because I'm actually very close to leaving my full-time work at the minute.
Okay.
Because I'm actually starting a business up that isn't this as well.
Okay.
So I'll be setting that up, but this is like be doing something kind of alongside. But also it'd be great to obviously have that extra income, and if not, like just have a full-time income on this as well. But it's more like I originally started coming into it for more of a routine and getting healthy and fit, like kind of what you said. But yeah, I'd really like to push for Diamond as well. So
okay. And I think what you've shared is so typical of somebody where you are on your journey, and I don't want you to feel bad about it, i.e., I haven't got a bootcamp set up yet for this month, and I'd like to hit Success Club. You know, this is all stuff, and I'm going to share something that literally, I don't know, for me, it set fireworks off in my head. Arno Nakahat is the global, like he's the global, I think he's vice president, and he's absolutely awesome. And I was lucky enough to meet him at a Tina Turner musical, because in the August I was one of the highest Success Club point girls in the UK, and I think I'd hit Success Club 8. So you know, in the UK it's not hard to be one of those highest Success Club earners. Just so you guys know, we do lead one of the top teams, and as such we do produce high Success Club numbers for the UK, and I want you guys to feel super proud and confident of that, because you are going to be those guys. And it's really this group that is going to get you to level up. It's going to get you to say, right, this isn't just a kind of sort of maybe thing. This is I'm going to do this thing. And with that comes the need for clarity and intentionality, which is what we need for you, Alice, which is what I needed in the beginning. I needed someone to say, like, if you hope it's going to happen and you're going to try. Arno said to me, he said, Izzy, I don't ever want to hear you say you're going to try, and I don't ever want to hear you say you hope, and I don't ever want to hear you say, like, I'm doing my best kind of thing. He said, it's I will, I can, and I am. And he said, I don't ever want to hear you talking about your goals with any other intention behind them. And I was like, well, shit, that was really harsh. It was really blunt, but actually I really needed it. And I'll tell you guys, that mindset shift with the way that I spoke to myself in my head about my goals. Like, it's not, I'm going to hope, I'm going to try, or I'd really like, or it'd be great if, just making that shift. And I haven't, again, Alice, I haven't done that to single you out. I'm just sharing exactly what happened to me. But that was where I changed from being just a Success Club girl. Having been in the business 6 months, you guys are like not even there yet in terms of, you know, you can elevate yourselves that much quicker because you've got this amazing training now. You've got this group. Joe came diamond out of one of these groups, and so did Charlotte. So do not underestimate the power of running together. But you will need to, as I said, like, get that date locked in, sit down. And guys, I just want to share as a side note, December is generally a shit show, the beginning part of December. It generally is. Okay. So don't beat yourself up. If you're speaking to people and people aren't coming on board, please don't think, oh, I'm rubbish at this coaching. This isn't going to work for me. This bears a reflection on me. I was having this conversation with Joe earlier. In markets like December, particularly, we've had COVID. It's December's tricky at the beginning anyway, because no one's got any money, but we've had COVID. Everyone's got no energy. They just want Christmas out of the way. And that is not to say that you should change anything that you're doing. I.e., I was saying to Joe earlier, the way that I go about doing my business, whether or not the market is good or bad, is the same. I will do about 100 follow-ups a day. I will do about 30 invites. That's for me. And I'm not saying that for you guys to draw comparison. That's just where I am with my business. But what I'm saying is, I know confidently that when I ride that out, it's not coming to fruition now, which only means it's just going to come to fruition later. Okay. Side note just on that. And also, Alice, good idea to set up the bootcamp towards the end of this month, like maybe just after Christmas, leading into January. Like, that's going to be prime time. And it doesn't mean, you guys, that you can't feed into what we're running. Like, if you're doing Control Freak, of course, by all means, add your girls in there. But what I really need you guys to do is to run your own thing by yourself as well, because until you do that, you will not take personal responsibility. And if you don't take personal responsibility, you won't become a diamond coach, because a diamond coach is being a leader, right? And it's important for you and your own self-confidence that you do that, but also for your girls when they do come through to be like, well, that's how Alice did it. Like, so I know what I'm doing. And just think about maybe like how Charlotte did that for you. So that's great. Success Club, I would just say again, like, I am going to hit Success Club. Like, not hopefully, just it's going to happen. And then when you start saying that, I don't know whether you guys ever feel this. I remember when Arno had that conversation with me, and it was like, well, shit, now I've got to put the fucking work in, because I've said I'm going to do it. So now I feel sick because I have to do it, because I've said I'm going to. And that's why generally we say that hopefully we will, because then if we don't, then it doesn't matter, because it wasn't really something we'd committed to. So that, again, that mental, I am going to. And guys, write down in the morning, like maybe if you do your affirmations, I am going to hit Success Club in December. You will be amazed how that will just happen. You'll start putting in the action required to get there. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if you guys hit Success Club towards the end of the month this month, just because of the month that you're in. And that's really exciting about leaving your full-time job. So it sounds like you're going through like a lot of transition at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but just kind of trying to figure everything out. And plus, part of the reason why I'm doing it as well is it's good time, because we've just got a puppy as well, who obviously need to keep like coming and going from work through the day as well, just to make sure he's not alone too long. So no, it's exciting. Yeah,
it's really exciting. And I would just say, if you're not sure where you're going with coaching or anything else, just trust the process and enjoy it. Like, you'll hear me say this all the time, but if you believe this is something you can do and you keep just doing it step by step, again, you'll be amazed. You'll be really amazed by what you can achieve. What was I going to say? Bootcamp, Success Club. Yeah, and I would just say for you, Alice, if you can send this to me and Charlotte, or Charlotte separately, but just make sure you've written in your planner, look at that diamond roadmap, which I'm going to send in the group in a bit, and confirm by, I'd say, Friday, what your diamond date is. Again, if we don't commit to a physical date, we'll never achieve it. Jo, I think, hit her diamond date. Did you hit your diamond date on your diamond date? 1 week later. Yeah. And the amount of times that I've had girls that have set diamond dates and they've literally missed it by a day or two or a week, it is amazing, again, what happens when you literally say to yourself, right, this is the date. Right, now what do I need to do to get there? And it will be exciting for you to get behind that challenge as well.
Do you remember like how long roughly you gave yourself, and Jo as well? How long did you give yourself?
Jo's on mute.
That's okay. There you go. I just remember there was a team call that Izzy did, and she said that she mentioned a date of the 15th of November about she needed that to lock in going elite when you were going for elite.
Yeah.
And she put me in the group in September. So I just thought, right, I'm just going to go for that date, the 15th of November. That was my date, because I knew that was a cut-off date for Izzy to go elite. So I was like, right, I have to get in on this date. And as it goes, I think I was like one coach short, was I, or something, or someone went inactive or something like that. So I was a week behind, but I literally had that chart on my desk, and I didn't care what the people were talking to me about. All I just needed was people to enroll. And in my head, it was just like, just all enroll, and I'll sort you out where you're going and what you're going to do once you've enrolled. That's all I was doing. But it was just like getting the numbers in, numbers. And then once I started, because obviously I have a different approach to getting people in. I don't sort of scattergun it. I specifically look at people and go right through their feeds and build up a quite a long-term sort of rapport with them. That's how I get my coaches now. So that's where I go for my working coaches. But for the rest of the time, I'm literally just anyone, as many people as I can get, and then I'll just sort them all out into my little circles when I get them in. That's
Jo basically built her diamond with 2 controlled emeralds. So when she went diamond with 2 emeralds on each side. So she basically doubled on the day. I was like, holy shit, I've never seen a coach go diamond with 2 emeralds on each side. It was unbelievable, but it was because of the momentum. And I would just say, you need, after this call, everyone to call to question your actions. Can I double everything? I bet you can. And you will be amazed what a difference. It's not going to make the difference to your business next week. It's really not. It's going to take 6 weeks for that doubling your efforts on everything. You will be amazed. It's like a water wheel, and the water just starts to spray you in the face, and you're like, shit, oh, that's what they were talking about, right?
And that's what I did. I doubled it. And to be honest with you, I know I do this sort of full time, but I doubled it. And I was finding, because of the momentum and the determination, it wasn't actually taking me a lot longer in time. It was just that I was so headstrong and knew what I was doing that it made it a lot easier for me to just speed the process up. So
Jo's so right there. When you get in that mindset, you will be amazed how much quicker you can message someone. And then you're like, wow, I doubled my numbers and it took me 10 more minutes. So it is amazing when you really start to call this out. Actually, this is the thing we're like, no, don't have time, couldn't do it, wouldn't have time to do that much. And it's amazing when you say, I'm going to do X in Y time, you usually do it. The other thing, so Alice, for me, I was in that diamond push group. I think I was put in at the end of August, and I was diamond by, I think it was the beginning of December. So September, October, November. So it took me 3 months.
Right.
I just, honestly, I just lost my mum. So I was kind of really all over the place emotionally, but it was that focus that I needed. And it gave me that, like Jo, like blinders were on. I said to my husband, I'm going for this goal and I'm going to be busy in every pocket of time. Let me crack on with it. So it was like just having that agreement, that communication as well, that, diamond's not going to happen just by going for a walk in the park. It's not, it won't happen for anyone with that kind of, it's an intention and a decision. Does that help, Alice?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. So yeah, if you can just commit to sending us your diamond date by Friday, and then I would say just lock in your bootcamp date so that you can start planning, because you need to plan 2 weeks ahead of that.
Yeah, okay, will do.
No worries. Sarah, do you want to go? Sarah Jackson, because I think you're on.
So I did a boot camp last month, which is my first month, and I ran my boot camp with one person.
Amazing.
Very quiet group.
You need.
General interaction in the group was pretty small, but it was personalised. So this time and to be fair, we didn't really. I set up bod, but I didn't really use bod because there was just I did a lot of one-on-ones with that person. Mm-hmm. So my goal for this month was to hit Success Club, but then also more importantly for me to run a bod group properly. Yeah. So I set that up, and I now have my rollover from last month. Mm-hmm. I've got 2 working coaches, and I've just got my 2 clients now who are going on to Control Freak, but they've come into the bod group between now and Control Freak.
Amazing.
So I actually have a live group now. So my focus this month has now been around content.
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit like Izzy. I'm here to build I'm here to build coaches and coach groups. I'm not very good at bod groups. I'm not very good at customer interaction. I'm not brilliant. I have to work really hard at that. I have to make myself do that. You'll notice I'm not massively active in the Facebook groups because I have to consciously make that effort to do that. If you like, it doesn't come naturally. So that was why that was such a big goal for me this month. And the reason it's such a big goal is because I have now got 2 active coaches, and the only way that they are going to progress and do well is if they see me do well. The only reason I've done well is because I'm following what Izzy's doing. Izzy turns up every single day with her superfood and her and you do your workout and you do your piece of count. So I'm following what you're doing. If I don't do that and run my bod group well, my 2 active coaches are going to fall flat on their faces. Mm-hmm. So that's why I focus so much on that this month. Yeah. But in doing that, that means I now So I followed Joe's strategy. So I've got 2 control accounts deliberately, because the minute that Dizzy said to me I needed 2 emeralds to go diamond, I secured 2 control accounts with the intention of being able to control that.
Control of both legs of your business, which means as you build volume, you've got control of
so that was a deliberate intent. So I now effectively have in the whole of my business 6 coaches right now. I need another 6.
Amazing.
Well, need 6 to go diamond, if you like, because this is on the presumption that none of my coaches actually go emerald. So I need another 2 actual coaches, then 4 to be able to put under my controls. So I know I've got a target of 6. So
that's a worst case scenario, but I love the way you build the worst case scenario.
Yeah, have to.
No one's building, no one's,
Have to. I've got to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I tell you why I've got to do it on my own, because I'm only in my 2nd month of coaching. There aren't many people like right now who have any faith in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When I talk to people, I've literally spoken to friends, and they've said, well, when you've got some customers with some good transformations, come back to me, and I'll, they just don't have the faith. So the only way I can do it at the moment in my own mind is to do it myself. So that means I need.
Yeah. You're very self-aware. I just have to make that observation, which is amazing, because if you're aware, you're going to go a long way.
So it's 6. So it's 6 by the end of December. That's the goal. Another 6.
So your diamond date's the end of December, yeah?
No. Well, my diamond date is January. My absolute diamond date is by the end of January.
Come on, that's too late. Not a great you're building. End of January.
I'm going to complete January in diamond as a diamond. I don't know exactly when the diamond date is.
Your diamond date's middle of January. I'm going to challenge you, because you do that. Like, you could do it standing on your head, looking at what you're doing right now.
So my goal was to complete in January. So
you need a specific date.
We'll negotiate a date.
It should really come from you, but I'm pushing you to think about.
All right. Well, I will come up with a date for mid-January.
Okay.
But the seeds, for me, it's sowing the seeds in December. So the reason I haven't set that for the end of December is because I know I have in my back pocket 80%, 90% coaches, if you like, who are not signing up until after Christmas, because it's Christmas and because they're going on the January train. So that's why I've got that in my mind, is that I'm not setting it for the end of December, because one thing you'll learn with me is I'm a realist, and that's where I struggle with my vision, because I have too strong a realistic side to me, and I'm having to learn to go bigger, if you like.
But that's why I can help you, because I'm the dreamer, but also
I have no dreams in that sense. I have no dreams. So I know what I need to do, and you've learned. I've already very methodical. I work backwards. So when it comes to you, when you start saying to Alice, kind of like, have the intent. The affirmation is, I'm going to go diamond. For me, I don't focus on that affirmation. What I focus in on is, how many people do I need to message this week, and how many do I need to message next week? For me, I'm much stronger on the input, because I can't control. Because I'm a control freak, actually. I can't control the output.
You need to learn to trust the process. It's a bit.
Yeah, I know. But month 2 is.
Yeah.
So at the moment, as a control freak, I can control the input that I put in, because then I can't control if somebody says yes, but I can control the number that I'm hitting. So that's how I'm doing it. Is I'm just focusing on my tracker. I'm focusing on doubling up on my tracker, focusing on more time, and that will then drive the output. Without being massively focused. Vision board is really hard for me. So rather than focus, although I look at it, rather than focus on that, I focus on the tracker.
You need both. So this is what we're going to do
at the moment.
We're going to do goals and vision and stack them together, and that's what I do every morning. But I would just say, that's great, that's amazing, I love that, and you control the controllable, which is what you're doing, and what you're saying isn't wrong at all. Like, that's completely right, because you can really only control what you're putting in the front end. But there has to be a level of trust and vision at the other end, i.e. this is where I'm aiming to go with this.
Yeah, and that's the PD I need to do. I haven't got that yet.
Yeah.
That's unlocking that part of my brain. It's unlocking that ability to see beyond the input.
It's not a normal natural taught thing, though. None of us can do. All I'll say is, and this is such a cliche, like corny phrase, but it's so true. Shoot for the moon and you'll land in the stars. Like my goal this year was 10-star, and we finished as a 4-star qualifying team. If I hadn't set the goal as 10-star, we probably never would have gone beyond 2-star this year.
Which I think is why I've set 6 goals, but another 6 coaches by the end of December.
Yeah, which is great, because actually, technically, that would be you beyond diamond, but you're not allowing yourself to think that way.
Correct. My next question then on that is that I know of the coaches that I have in my pot right now, unless I do some serious work, that half of them are cancelling the subscription at the end of the month because they've signed up as discount coaches to access. They're not interested because they don't see the value in the superfood right now. So I guess my only other question is that side of things is that I'm just working on the basis that, you know, if I hit diamond on the 31st of December, that level of activity has to continue in January because I'm going to need to replace the inactives.
You need momentum. You have to constantly be adding coaches, and that is something that I have seen so many times. The coaches that do well understand that once they've hit a rank, they are not going to roll back, which means they have to ensure this momentum all of the time. Yeah. And if they take their foot off the pedal and say, oh, I've got there now, boom, straight back into emerald, and then they flip-flop for the next 3 months. And that's why, I mean, it's literally like, I remember Thomas Barrett saying this, and it's so true. You're trying to accelerate to get out of like our galaxy into another one. And you're literally just accelerating until you literally fly out the other side. But you guys aren't going to fly out the other side until you're 2-star. And I want to share that. Like, that momentum is going to need to be there. And that was the mindset I had. Once I have hit a rank, I am never, ever rolling back. And that means I have to be going with momentum all the time. And as you said, when you start having people that are looking to you, you better bet that makes you accountable, because you're like, well, crap, if I don't show up, they're not going to show up. They're not going to have their superfood there, you know.
And when I found my two working coaches, both of who were cold asks, I don't know these people. They came through Instagram. When I signed those 2 up, I will be honest, part of me went, shit, damn, I've got to turn out now.
It's business now, yeah.
Because that's it, you know, the ball, there's no more playing with it. I didn't have time to find my feet. I didn't have time to get, you know, it was, that was it. It had, you know, and I've got to keep going because I've got 2 people relying on me now.
Yeah.
That's really big when that hits you.
But it also requires you to level up and grow in yourself, and isn't that an amazing thing?
Yeah, like I wasn't doing my Shakeology, but properly when they signed up. And now I'm like, you know, now.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it.
No, not when they signed up. No, because I had, like, I was probably not consistently. That was about week 3.
Yeah.
So I am now because I've got 2.
I love that. Right. Okay. So to me, just let me know on your diamond date. You don't need to share that here, but like literally have a look.
My push goal is the 31st of December. 6 coaches by the 31st of December.
Okay.
That's my push goal. That's my real stretch goal, because my goal was Success Club. So my stretch goal is another 6 by
this month, which is amazing.
But that's just momentum. But I've seen straight away. I'm like, no, fuck, you got Christmas in the middle of that. Stop it. I'm like, get over the realism kicks in. I'm like, no. But so that what does that translate to? I've just did a massive push on Control Freak. I've took my foot off the gas purely so I don't piss people off. And I'm going to push again in towards the back end of this week as a kind of like if you're going to order, you got to order. Do you know what I mean?
Otherwise, you're not going to be in on the 21st.
So I'm going to do that this weekend to see if I can generate another 2 discounts off the back of Control Freak this weekend.
By the way, that's working really well for me. If you guys aren't doing that, I've got like someone enrolling tomorrow, someone enrolling on my birthday. Like, if you miss the 21st, you're going to watch us for 9 weeks, and you are going to kick yourself so hard. And I'm telling them that. And then I'm sharing it in my stories, and then I'm sharing it in my stories again and again and again. And people are going, oh my God, yes, actually, yes. And existing people that perhaps have gone inactive.
The only other question was, has anybody had any success in doing a blanket message out from a Christmas perspective? I.e., if you're thinking about, if you don't know what to get your other half for Christmas, or she's talking about, you know, or you're thinking about getting fit in January, or she's talking about it, then do you know what I mean? Then come talk to me. Because I'm thinking this, I keep thinking of Christmas as a negative thing, but actually that's why people are spending money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that, but I had someone who was like, I don't think I can afford it. And I was like, oh, we've had girls who get it gifted. They get it gifted by their other half. Could you do that? But I wouldn't send a newsletter out. It just wouldn't be something I would do, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't work.
So I've never actually done my warm market. I've never actually done a Facebook warm market message. I never did it when I started.
You could try it. Why not try it?
So I'm just wondering whether, because it's Christmas, it might be my opportunity to get over myself.
I would, because you've got lots of warm market watching you right now. I don't really anymore. All my warm market are either in or they're not interested.
Yeah. I think that might be the thing I might give it a go.
Yeah, definitely. Good idea. Love it. Right. Sarah, Sarah, do you like to be called Sarah Jane or Sarah?
I don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Everybody calls me SJO because it's my initials,
Okay.
and that's where my Instagram came from.
Okay.
So I'd been looking into nutrition for ages because I did a bikini competition, rebound massively, created all these stupid bloody intolerances I've got now, IBS wise, from being so restrictive. So I'd already set up my Instagram and I was posting my workouts from the gym every day and all of that good stuff, my meal prep. Everyone was literally like, oh, you're so motivated, can you come and cook for me? So I found a love and a passion for the nutrition side of things. And I thought, I want to be a nutrition coach. So I'd already started a certification when Joe reached out to me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, she literally just sent me one message and I was like, I'm in straight away. You don't have to do any leg work, because I know that's what gets me excited. And when I get up in the morning, really like into it. So I had no problem in signing up. What I'm struggling with is the messaging, the cold messaging. I seem to get to a certain point and then it's like crickets and I just feel so uncomfortable.
So have you sent Joe your conversations?
No.
So I will tell you something, and this is something that most coaches hate the idea of, and I actually don't love making my coaches send them their conversations, but if they really want it and they're having conversations and they're getting ghosted, I make them send me their messages, because it's probably something you're doing, and it might even be the tone, or just to you that sounds fine, but actually you can't pick that up and somebody else like your coach Joe can pick up on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just a slight tweak that needs to be made, whether it's the invite or the follow-up, that's really going to change everything. So I would suggest screenshotting Joe. And I will also share this, which is again the energy. When you message people, have you said to yourself in your head, oh, people never reply now? Because if you've done that energetically, you've basically said they're not going to reply, and so they won't.
Yeah.
And
I've had some, and like some people are interested, and the people that have sort of said, oh, not right now, are still following my stories, and they're actually from people I know. So what I've done is I've avoided going on Facebook, because all those people that I've got on there that I know are all from my gym, majority of them. And in my head, I was thinking, I can't really be reaching out to them because they're already gym goers. They're not going to want to be interested in home workouts.
Why not?
I don't know. I've just said that to
let
myself.
me just confront that one like really quickly, because I like literally when someone's like, yeah, but I go to the gym, I'm like, so what? It's completely different. So let me just, in your mind, just confront that one, because I think that was me in the beginning. They go to the gym, unless they pay for a PT and they have a specific nutrition course, they are getting sweet FA compared to what we're getting. They are getting the equivalent of a home PT every single day of the week and a nutrition course that is specifically adhered to for their program, for their goals, which even a PT couldn't write for them. Okay. They also have to physically go into the gym. This is a global community that exists 24/7, which means the accountability. I don't know, like for me, my accountability to my goals and my results since I've been a Beachbody coach, whether or not I was helping people, has been 1,000,000 times better than when I went to the gym. Because
this is it. I went to that gym for 3 years.
Going to the gym, like, get ready. Let's invite them.
I've showed up every day for the last 7 weeks.
There you go. So what does that say to you?
Yeah, I know. I literally wrote down Facebook coach as Sarah was talking. I've got hundreds of friends on there.
Get a pen and paper and write down every single reason why what we have to offer is better than the gym, and literally remind yourself so that you can invite. Because if you even invited them,
No, I invited one and she straight out said no. And I
you
said
got
to
fear.
Joe, the reason was I'm friends with the gym owner, and in my head I was thinking he's going to kick me out when he knows what I'm doing. So I straight off messaged him and said, "How's my membership?" and took myself out because I didn't want him to have that like hold over me. And I'm just assuming that this is what I do: overthink and play things out before they actually happen.
So I'm going to say something. Do you have quite a lot of time on your hands right now because of where you are, or you don't?
I work full time, but my spare time is.
You are going to set timers. You are going to give yourself 5 minutes and you're going to go through all your story watches and you're going to get those invites sent. And do you know what that's going to do? It's going to stop you doing this. You don't have time for this. Okay. And you're going to get a template invite for your warm market, and maybe Joe can help you with it so that it's in your notes. And as soon as you get those story watches out, none of this, you just literally send the invite, send the invite, send me. And I still do that to this day. I will literally have template invites. And because of the volume that I send, that's what I do. Yeah, I tailor it. If I've had a conversation with someone, I'm not just going to send the same old invite, right? I'm going to relate back to our previous conversation. You are going to save so much time, and you're also going to save your brain, because if you're doing this business won't work for you ever. We all do this, and I'm not saying it because you're not capable, because you definitely are. I've definitely been there in the beginning. I did that, but it was amazing when I called myself out on, Jesus Christ, what's going on in here? Like, if we're having these little itty bitty conversations in our head, like, but would she be interested? I'm not sure. Or maybe she'll tell me, but she goes to the gym. If you're doing that, you can't run an effective business. You have to be decisive and just get the invite sent. You have no idea how that person feels, even if they're your friend at that moment in time. At that moment in time, they could have eaten 10 bagels too many and be at their tipping point where they're like, fuck this shit, I need to sort it out. And you don't know that. And unless we reach out, we don't know. And I even have to do it now. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I won't send that person a message. And then this evening I was like, right, we're going to get really punchy. We're going to get all over Control Freak. I went through all my transformation photos. Every single person basically got a message. Whether or not I'd messaged them 3 days ago, they'd like my transformation photos. So they're going to get another message saying, hey, is this of interest? And I did that to someone who was like, she's going to tell me to fuck off. She's going to tell me to fuck off. And she was like, yeah, actually, I'll try the sample workout. What does that tell us? Their situation changes all the time. We don't know their situation, even if we had a conversation with them 4 days ago. Particularly, and let this give you confidence. We've got this launch. This is like unlike anything we've seen. This is honestly, hand on heart, guys, we're not going to see another program launch like this for probably another 6-8 months. If people miss the ability to be a part of that group, they are missing out, and they really, really are. They're going to watch us for 9 weeks. So just get in that headspace of, do you know what? I'm doing them a favor. You really are. You really are. Because if they're watching you,
cannot fail. This cannot fail, because people will then, told you so, and I'm not having it.
No, but not even that. Like, they're watching you and you've not invited them. You know them.
I know.
Invite them. They're waiting.
Okay.
They're
so Success Club is definitely one of my goals. I'd put down end of March, just because it was 3 each month after December. Obviously, Control Freak, I want to get like insane results with that. I've got my free group that's gone a little bit quiet since I sort of said, you know, I'm going to sort of focus more on the people that were going to go into the boot camp. So that didn't really go as I thought it was going to go. What else did I write down? Yeah, so just this month, really just focused on building them connections, like getting more follow-ups, more invites out. I did start looking at maybe, do I need to target a bit more rather than, you know, scattering it here, there and everywhere. But what I'm finding is I'm getting information overload. I'm watching these webinars, these bloody how to build an email list, how to find your niche.
Let me just on that quickly. Right.
That's what I was doing.
Ashley Molstad
That's exactly
said.
what I was doing.
But Ashley Molstad says this, and this is so true. You should not be lapping up another training if you haven't hit Success Club. You need to take the messy action on the stuff that's going to get you there, whether or not it's perfect, whether or not you need more training. She's like, don't watch trainings, don't do all that stuff until you've hit Success Club. So training aside, numbers first. And I would just say, with like building more connections, building more invites, what's the number? What's the number? Like, if you've been doing X, What's the number? Because again, if you don't have target numbers at the opening of your funnel, i.e. connections, invites, follow-ups each day, you don't know what to compare it to. You don't know how to work with it. And if you don't change the numbers and you don't have a solid flip switch, change, gear up, you can't expect a different outcome. It won't work. So I would just say get that intentionality, and again, maybe chat with Jo about what you think is realistic for your time on that. And honestly, where we get unsure about what we're doing, you know what's happening? We've got too much time on our hands. When you get really intentional and you literally say to yourself, right, in this time frame, I'm going to send X number of invites. Do you know what that does? It stops this, because you're like, well, shit, now I've got to get. So I think timers and numbers for you is going to
100%. I've got the time, but like you say, I'm just like procrastinating or overthinking, and then oh, shit,
and that's Sarah, that's what I was doing. I was watching webinars, listening to,
honestly,
like,
look at this is my notebook. It is just full of just shit.
Right.
Yeah,
I just
and that's what I was doing. And then
messy action.
as soon as I just stripped it all, as soon as I got put in this group, and I was like, right, and I threw the whole lot in the bin, all of it. I just like, right, start again. What were we taught? This is what we were taught. And I literally just stripped it right back. And that is when it was like the fog cleared and I just got on with it. And I do that exactly the same every day. I don't actually set a timer because I've got a little bit more time, but I set myself a number of people that I have to target every day. And I make sure I hit that number, and I don't get up until I've done that.
Yeah.
And I do it.
Exactly the same.
Just as a kind of as a working example, the 2 people that I've got signed up for Control Freak were on my they'll never sign up list.
There you go.
Guaranteed. And Izzy knows one of those has had a pretty traumatic experience over the last month or so. Didn't go anywhere near messaging her because she was in a bad place, so I didn't message her. And the other one is somebody that is just naturally very kind of like very guarded against anything that I've ever done in this kind of way, if you like, as a friend. And so I never messaged her. And then I took the decision with Control Freak that this was a boat that was sailing on the 21st, and I either got coaches on that boat or it was gone, and that was it for another 6 months. So I literally one of the one that was naturally guards, I just messaged and said, do you want to do this? And she went, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
And that I literally was like, so I messaged Izzy that day and was like, holy shit, I've just gone Success Club 4. And then we were on the call on Monday with a new coach call when I messaged you, and it was off the call. It was off the call to action on my stories. So always, always put those up. So if you're gonna promote it and then put any more info, and I know you do that, but have faith, keep doing that, because it came off of that. And I would have, and genuinely, she's been through a rough time, really rough time. I would never have messaged her in a million years. Yeah. So you just you don't know. You just don't know. And that's a really good working example of exactly.
One of the objections I've gotten about 4 times is, well, how I'm not motivated, I don't stick to things. How would you keep me motivated?
That's the point. Because you've got the accountability group, you're the girl that fucking needs this shit, because you're going to see the girls show up every day.
Well, I said that.
In there.
And then she was literally like, I don't like Facebook, I don't like groups.
Okay, well, that's a mindset.
It's just like, oh, you're not fucking right then, are you?
What her issue is, and like you learn to recognise, is she's failed at stuff like this in the past, and she's scared that she'll fail again. And so it's for you to say, I get it, but why do you not like them? Is it perhaps because you're not? Is it a friend of yours, by the way, incidentally?
Yeah.
Okay, so call her out on it. Come on, that's just an excuse.
She never sticks to anything. The only thing she stuck to.
Okay, well, just say to her, what are you scared of? And she'll say, this is something to ask someone when you're trying to close them. Tell me what's your greatest concern? What are you scared of? Isolate it. 9 times out of 10, they'll come back and they'll tell you. And then if it's an objection you can overcome, like I've always failed, you can say, this is where you're going to succeed. We have girls in here who've never succeeded on their journeys. Here are some of the results. Get
I
your
was
butt
that
in here.
girl. I never saw anything
That-
through.
And they've got 30-day money back guarantee. So, geez, like if you really don't
Oh, I
trust
didn't
them,
know that.
what have you got to lose? Yeah, you have. Oh, didn't you? Sorry, I'm not very good at like feeding out all the info.
But that's useful to know.
30-day money back guarantee. But I think for you and SJ, I think that once you get clear cut on the numbers
Yeah.
and you hold yourself to the numbers, like Joe and I said, you won't have time for this. Oh, well, she won't. You'll just go, well, fuck, I need to do 30 invites today, so get cracking. And that whole, like, coaches that procrastinate don't have clarity on a goal and don't have a clarity on a short-term goal, i.e. exactly what I've just said, like how many and by when. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because it will get you taking action. Even if you feel like you're going to vomit, you're going to go, well, shit, I've got to do that today.
I was literally like, I never wanted to be in sales. I fucking hate sales.
But you're not in
That's what it kind
sales.
of feels like.
You're not in sales, okay? And the reason why you feel like you're in sales perhaps is because have you got your own great transformation with what you've done with Beachbody so far?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
why is that you being in sales? You're not in sales. You're just basically saying to them, I've got this amazing pair of Sweaty Betty workout trousers. Like if you found a pair of workout trousers, let me just give you this example, and they fit really well and they're really lovely, but you didn't work for them. And your friend said, oh, have you got any advice on workout clothes? You go, oh my God, yes, Sweaty Betty workout trousers are the best fit. You have to get them. And the only reason why you won't share it with your friends is because you're being proof of the product. Yet if you weren't, and you weren't a coach, would you share with your friends what you're doing and how amazing you're feeling? Would you?
And I write that in my posts because I had a little bit of a glitch with that, and I actually write it in my posts now. I say, like, you know, I feel so amazing, I just want to tell you, or if I went and had a great meal at a restaurant,
Yes.
I'll tell you how great that meal would be. You know, something really relatable to people, that something that people do all the time. Or if you went somewhere great on holiday, you'd tell everyone where you were going. You know, so I always just say, like, I know I'm shouting this from the rooftops because I feel this great and I want to pass on how great I feel, and just do it like that way. And that works really well as well.
And what
Yeah.
Sarah just said as well, this is true for me even now. When you put call to actions up all the time, you literally feel like people are going to be like, for fuck's sake, is he talking about this fucking thing again? Fucking shut up.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel when I'm doing it. And I want to be honest about that. This week I have had so much interest because I'm like, control freak. And this is how the track is. And do you want to join me? And later on that day, I'm like, and oh my God, we're launching. Do you want to join me? Because actually, guys, we need to be doing that. It launches on the 21st. Get those coaches in, because you know what? We've got an amazing opportunity and they don't want to miss it. And we're not selling them. We're not selling them anything. We're just telling them, I'm doing this best program ever. It's possibly going to be the best Beachbody program ever. If you miss the boat, you fucking missed it. And that's not because you're selling it to them. That's because that's factual, right?
There's two things on that for me. One, just on that point, following on from Mizzy's point, if you have enough pipeline flowing in, if you have enough new followers coming into your page, when I get up every morning and I feel like I'm saying the same thing on my stories that I said yesterday, I imagine myself talking to the 10 people that have just followed me overnight that have never heard of me before.
Yeah.
So when I go on every morning as if I'm talking to a brand new audience, I generally say the same sort of thing that I said yesterday. But if I was really pissing people off, I wouldn't see the same people following my stories. And I've had the same people follow my stories for 60 days now. If I was pissing people off, they wouldn't still follow. But what I am picking up every single day is the 10 new people overnight that I've generated. And that's who I'm talking to.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I learned in my previous role, because I did 6 months of network marketing before I joined Beachbody. So I did 6 months of falling on my face in another business before I started here. So when we talk about, this is month one, I've hit Success Club and on the 7th, yes, but I've done 6 months of shit. I was really bad to start with. So I have to remember that that's where I've come from. And one of the most important things that I learned in my previous company, different product, same concept. If somebody said to you, you had to do 100 press-ups a day in every morning, and as a result of 100 press-ups, you were going to earn £1 million at the end of the year, you'd do 100 press-ups a day. You just stop thinking about what the press-ups are. You just get 100 press-ups done because you're going to earn £1 million. So if you're going to leave your job and I'm going to leave my job because we're both in the same place, right? You do 100 press-ups every morning. So you get on and you message 100 people every day. You're not selling anything. Don't think of it like that. It's just 100 freaking messages. That's all you got to do, because you're going to leave your job as a result of it. And when I got that in my head, I stopped overthinking about what I was doing. Just bang, 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 bang them out, because I've got to do press-ups.
Yeah.
It's the only way
I love that concept.
at the end of the day.
Do you know
That's
what?
what
I agree with that.
the
The second week I was off, my stories were like, they were just coming, and Joe messaged me saying, your stories are fucking amazing today. I was like, I didn't even think about them today. I was just going with it.
Just
and I was
do
like,
it.
just feeling it. And I literally had like the best couple of days. And then I don't know what's happened. It's probably because I've gone back
Something
to
knocked your
work.
confidence. What's knocked your
Yeah.
confidence? Something's knocked your confidence.
I don't know.
Is it some no's? Is it the
Is it
no's?
a friend saying no?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck them.
Yeah, do you know what? I went out for lunch with my friend. Oh, and she was literally just like, she previously was in caravan sales, so she was talking to me about all the, you know, the things they used to do to draw people in, and it got really salesy, and I was just like, oh, this is not what.
That's not what you present this opportunity however you want to present it. We are not selling. When someone says, are you in sales? I'm like, no, I'm in the business of changing people's lives. If you think that's sales, fine. But I never think of what I'm doing as sales ever. I'm like, how dare you tell me I'm just selling a product? I'm literally helping change people's lives. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this, change my own life. And I've changed so many girls' lives. And you are quite new to this, so you can't see that for yourself personally yet. But you've got to trust in that process and feel into it with what everyone else is experiencing. And I promise you, like, don't ever class what we do as sales. When people say that to me, I literally pisses me off so much, because I'm like, you've missed the fucking point. You've missed the point. And you'll join me later, but don't you fucking tell me I'm in sales, because I'm not. And I genuinely, like, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm not, because when you're on the other side, have you had anyone say to you, I think this is a crock of shit, and what a load of rubbish? No, they all say how amazing it is.
The other thing is, your nearest and dearest are not going to support you.
Yeah,
So I was telling Izzy when we were catching up yesterday that on the first month that I did it, and I needed to my success club was 3 people. I had 3 people all ready to go the night before my boot camp started, and the one person we got on the phone that night, and she said, do you know what, I'm going to go with my mate, because I think I'd just rather do what she's doing. It was my sister-in-law. She knew I was building my own business. She knew I needed to get this off the ground. And the night before, she went, do you know, my mate's doing this yoga retreat, so I think I'm just going to go and do that. And that hit me like a knife. And it just shows you that the people that your closest friends are likely to turn around and say no. My closest friends have turned around and said, when you've got some sort of, customer base that's actually achieved something, come back to me.
I've blocked my best friend, just so you know. I speak to my best friend all the time, but I blocked her because she constantly questioned what I did. And then her mum started commenting on my Facebook posts, like really weird comments. And I said to Katie, I'm really sorry, I'm blocking your mum. She didn't take it personally. We don't really talk about my business that much. She doesn't get it. She's never going to get it. She wants to stay in her small world. She's always remained in that small world. And I'm growing and you're growing. And your friends are not going to likely to be growing unless they're up for a growth journey. Most people aren't up for a growth journey. And they want to drag you down into the pit that you came from so that you stay with them to make them feel better. And the moment you recognize that, you are literally going to go, do you know what? Get off me, let me go. And if you want to join me later, that's fine. And if you don't, that's also cool. And ultimately, as an aside, that is a test of a true friendship. They're not a real friend if they're going to not like it. I'm not going to not change because somebody doesn't like it. Either you come with me or you support me, or I'm shedding my skin and you're not ready to come up with me. And that's okay. I know I'll find new people along the way.
Exactly what I said to Jules. So Jules joined me, and the day she joined me, she was about to sign up, and she messaged me, said, I don't think I can do it because I just don't think any of my friends are going to want to come along on this journey. And literally the last messages I gave her before she joined up were, you are about to leave 98% of your friends behind because you haven't met your tribe yet. You haven't met the group of women who are leveling up like you are yet. You're about to meet them. Welcome to your new world. And when she realised that, she soared. She signed up and she's doing her stories every single day because she suddenly realised that the lid has been taken off her box, if you like, and she's literally unfolding her wings, and she's going for it, and she's literally waving goodbye to these people that have been dragging her down for years. It's amazing to watch her do it.
Yeah. Does that help? Sorry, we've gone off on a massive tangent.
No, that's great. No, that's great.
Down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no.
really, to like summarize, just make sure, and I'll summarize in this text thread. I'll send the diamond roadmap, and we lost Alice, but I think she was clear on what she needed to do anyway. Set your Success Club goal. Share it with your coach. Okay, so Esther, you're going to share it with Joe. Like, be really cut and dry on that, and Joe's going to hold you to account on that and help you get there. And get cut and dry with Joe on how many connections, how many invites, and perhaps follow-ups you're going to do, because I feel like that's going to really help you. Sarah, for you, it's just your diamond date, your boot camp's running, nail control freak. We've got all of those goals in place, and look at that diamond roadmap. And then what I'm going to ask you guys to do is submit back the diamond roadmap with who you've got so far, even if you are just emerald, because it's going to happen quick. But yeah, hopefully that's been helpful. Was there anything else you wanted to ask, SJ?
No, I did. The only question I'd written down was what Sarah touched on, with what happened if. So obviously I've only got my control account and then my one coach, which is just like a discount coach. So if she then cancels her subscription and the coach fee, that then technically means I've only got one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't get in that mindset.
I needed to.
That's not happening. It's just to accelerate. Like,
She needs to be dropped down here then, doesn't she?
Exactly, because if you go there, that's what's going to happen, right? That's not happening, because if she goes inactive, I'll have someone there by the time she does. So that means I need to get on the invites and nail the topic, and that's what. And I'm moving forward, not back. Yeah.
First thing on it.
There you go. Like, just be really conscious of those thoughts. That's going to drag you back. Have you've listened to The Secret? You said.
Yeah, I've watched the film.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've listened to The Secret about 4 times. It really helped me. Right. Well, thank you guys. It's been awesome. I'm going to do a boomerang. I'm going to stop recording.